Hey everybody, this is David at Homestead Hacks. It's been a while since I made a video, so I thought I'd do a little farm update. Feeding the fish. The catfish they're always hungry, always hungry. As you can see, we got quite a few of them out here. There's probably, there's a 3 or 4, 5 big breeders, and the rest of them are just mid-sized catfish that'll be ready to harvest next year. I thought they would be this year. They wasn't. There probably is a few in there that we've pulled out and released that could have been pulled out, but there's at least probably 100 catfish right here, so they're gonna have to be weeded out. But anyway, that's a catfish. I want to show you something on the garden. Okay, it's been a while since I've done an update on the garden. As you can see, comparing to the last video, this stuff has went crazy. I can no longer till in between the rows because the rows are now grown together. If you remember previous videos, you got 2 rows of kale, 2 rows of collard greens, and then broccoli, cabbage, and then the last video I had talked about, I believe that I was going to plant turnips over here. Now these will need to be thinned out some if I'm expect to get any turnips at all. This year has been the perfect conditions for planting a fall garden here in North Georgia. I always try to get mine out like the last day of August or the 1st of September, and that seems to work out just perfect. But it's been really hot, so it's made everything grow fast, and all this stuff here from previous experience will all live through the winter except the broccoli. It'll finally get too cold for the broccoli. The kale and cauliflower that I grew before, it's a Siberian dwarf. It's a Siberian dwarf kale, and it's just Georgia collard greens, but unless it gets exceedingly cold, it handles down into the single digits. So wherever you're at in the country, and I don't know, you may experiment with some of this. With the cabbage, it's froze ice on top of it. We've had freezing rain, and it would be froze. And I thought for sure it'd be dead. It unthaw, and it was good as it just kept on growing. So it don't seem to hurt the cabbage. I'm sure when you get below 0, I'm sure it does. But say if you don't have room for a big garden, let me show you what else you can do. We actually still have our banana plants in the ground. So we've only had like one very light frost, and it usually takes a pretty good frost to knock the bananas out, but once they do, then I just dig them up, put them under the house. Okay, here's a big old pot that we had. The wife had flowers in here through the summertime, and once they died out, I just go around and I spread those either kale or Georgia collard greens, whatever collard greens you use. Make use for that space. You know, put them in any pots that you have empty. Let them grow through the winter. It works good. If you're in very cold conditions, put them on your patio or somewhere close to the house where they'll last a little bit longer. But here, like I said, North Georgia, this will grow all winter. And I did this. It's not like I really need them because we got all those in the garden, but it is pretty convenient at times to come out here and pick them right out of the pot because they grow excellent. And especially if you put a little bit of manure in it. You know, goat manure, rabbit manure is really good. A little bit of chicken. If you use chicken manure, be careful. It's really strong in nitrogen. But you could also just get some good soil like at Lowe's or Home Depot. Now that is artificial, of course, and some people may frown on that, but if you want to keep 100% organic, get you some manure from your animals and put in here, and that will help it grow really strong. Because this thick, that's a lot of plants in there. That's a lot of plants. But I'm going to let it go like that. I'm not going to thin it out. I'm just going to see how it grows. And if it looks like it's starting to turn a little bit yellow, then I'll start adding a little bit of goat manure to it, because we got plenty of it down there, and it's almost in a powdered form. So I'll just add that to it, and that'll keep it with enough nitrogen to keep it going, to keep it growing. I mean, you can grow things real tight like that, but you got to have a lot of nourishment in the soil. So far it's already got a lot of nourishment because you can see how thick they are and how green they are. But if that lightens up and starts turning a little bit yellow, a little bit light green, then I'll know. We've had plenty of rain, so we got plenty of rain here. And anyway, I'm going to show you my fall scene there. If you're not seeing it yet, we got it put together. We put one up every year. But anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to show you a couple things, show you how well the fish are doing, and the collard greens. If you don't have a garden, plant you some of these in any kind of container. They'll grow. You can get those seeds on eBay. That's where I got those. Just type in collard green seeds or Siberian dwarf kale, and they look almost identical, so be careful, don't get them mixed up. One of them's just a little bit redder than the other. So that's about it, folks. Don't forget, please help share our videos, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Homestead Hacks.